Hey guys, this is Metaltronics here again. This is the same Xbox that I had with the bad power supply where I replaced the cap. The power supply has been working great since I replaced that cap. It's been maybe 2 years, a year and a half. But now the issue that I'm having is that it's not reading the CD drive, the CDs, the games, whatever. It's not reading the games or anything else. As you can see, nothing pops out on the screen. I took this guy apart. There's videos online on how to take it apart. But let me eject it. One thing I realized is if I flip it upside down, like this, I took the bottom cover off. It's only 4 screws, but if I insert the game, it seems to work. If it's the other way around, you don't hear it move. And look at that. Damn, game popped out. If it's just sitting here, then you know, in its correct way, it doesn't read the games. But if it's upside down, it fucking works. So let's see if we can fix this guy. I know you could just buy a new drive and replace it, but that's like $30. And I have to wait a couple days. I'm trying to see if I could fix this guy today. Let me check this guy. I read some, so wait for it to turn off. Unplug the power. Alright, I want to remove this guy. I'm going to try to fix it. So I removed this guy earlier, like I said. It was just like that. Using these screws here. So let's set this aside. And I don't know, maybe just clean it. Maybe it's lubrication or something. So I'm gonna just take it apart just to clean it. I think that's the best thing we can do. I'm not sure what's down here. Let me see. So there's 3 screws here. Let's take those guys off. And there was 3 ribbon cables. 1, 2, 3 that I took off. Okay. And then just move this guy to the side. Just be careful with these 2 cables over here. They seem to power the motor that inserts the, yeah. So there's 2 cables here. I guess they insert the CD. I'm just gonna clean it with some compressed air. I know they say not to do this because it leaves residue or something, but so I went to go get some grease. I think this grease is used in cars. I was just trying to find a different kind of grease. This is kind of thick, but whatever, I'm gonna use it. Let me see. I'm gonna use some of this grease. Just gonna put it on these guys here. Putting grease here. I'm putting grease over here. So put grease on both sides. And then let's just move it back and forth. Alright, let's see if that did anything. Let's put this guy back in here. You don't have to remove the PCB board, this board here, to apply the grease, but I just removed it just to see what was underneath. But I'm hoping that maybe removing it and put it back in did anything. Like maybe something was just loose. I don't know. Maybe removing it and putting it back in helps. So one thing that I'm also gonna try is some WD-40, and I'm just going to put it here on these bands here. So I put some there. I'm gonna put some here. There's two bands here. I put some on both, just because. And I'm gonna put some on this corner here. I mean, on this edge here. Just be careful not to put too much, because it might just end up getting maybe the laser dirty, or the CD when it goes in there. So what I'm gonna do is get some Q-tips and remove any excess WD-40. See if that does anything. Alright, let's take this back and see if it works. So this is another one that I had laying around. I forgot to mention that when you remove this guy, be careful, because there's a sensor here. There's another sensor here. I guess that's a I guess to detect the CD going in, so it would basically take the CD
That's what the sensor's for. So once it gets to this point here, the drive knows that there's a CD going in, and it'll basically take the CD. So be careful with this sensor here. So if you notice that you put the CD in the game or whatever and nothing's happening, then this sensor might be bad. You could replace that guy if you have a spare part like I do. I removed mine because when I removed the other one, I did damage it, so I had to replace it with this one. But hopefully you won't have to if you're careful. There's a little hole here where the sensor goes. So just be careful and you won't have to replace it. If you do have to replace it, make sure the polarity is correct. The rotation. And basically that's all I wanted to say about this. And make sure you shouldn't have to remove these wires here for the motor here. But if you do remove them, just solder them back to the correct one. You see black, B for black and R for red. So I put the Xbox back together. So I didn't record putting it back together, but I tested it before I did. But just to show you guys, that seems to have worked. So just, doing some, putting some, just cleaning it and Mr. Tibbs. So seems to be reading the movies now and the games. So far I haven't had any issues. So putting some grease on the gears seems to have helped. See? It pops out now. So give it a try, see if that works. I don't guarantee that it will, but it helped my system. It helped my CD drive. Before I wouldn't read the games or the movies unless I had the drive upside down for some reason. So after cleaning it and putting some grease on the gears, seems to have solved the problem.